December 11th, 2025, 2:30 in the morning. María Corina Machado, Nobel Peace Prize laureate. First public appearance in almost a year. What the crowd didn't know, what almost no one knew, was what it took to reach that balcony. 12 hours earlier, she was on a fishing boat in the Caribbean with a fractured vertebra. US fighter jets overhead, trying not to get blown out of the water by the same Navy now blockading her country. She had led the largest opposition movement in Venezuelan history, exposed the fraud that stole an election, put 80% of the receipts online for the world to see. She became the most wanted person in Venezuela, survived an election her side won by 37 points, and wasn't allowed to keep. Watched the man she put on the ballot flee to Spain. She stayed. And now she was getting out. The only way left. December 9th. A fishing village on Venezuela's western coast. Machado, disguised in a wig, slipped past military checkpoints and boarded a wooden boat bound for open water. 64 kilometers to the Dutch island of Curaçao. 3 hours under ideal conditions. These weren't ideal conditions. The extraction was led by Bryan, US Special Forces veteran who runs the Grey Bull Rescue Foundation. His team had pulled off 800 missions, but never anyone with a Wikipedia page. Stern hauled her aboard at a rendezvous point in open water. 16 hours of transit lay ahead. Cold, wet, no lights, and one critical complication. The same US Navy carrier group now blockading Venezuela was running strike missions on boats just like theirs. Drug interdiction. Go-fast boats blown out of the water without warning. Stern coordinated with US forces to ensure they weren't mistaken for a target. 2 boats rendezvousing at night off the Venezuelan coast, as he put it, is a great way to become an accidental target. The veterans complained. She didn't, not once. Somewhere in those hours, the boat hit rough water hard enough to fracture one of her vertebrae, but she kept going. 11 months earlier, María Corina Machado had done something no one thought possible. She unified Venezuela's fractured opposition. Barred from running herself, she backed Edmundo González, organised 58,000 volunteer groups across the country, trained poll watchers for every voting station. When the government declared Maduro the winner without releasing results, her network had already collected 80% of the official tally sheets, each one with a QR code proving its authenticity. The math wasn't close. González won 67%. The Carter Center called it a complete failure of transparency. Political scientists called it the largest electoral fraud in modern Latin American history. The regime responded with mass arrests. Over 2,000 detained. Opposition leaders faced a choice: prison or exile. González chose exile. 6 weeks after the election, facing charges of falsification of public documents for publishing the receipts, he fled to Spain on a military plane. He's been recognized by the US as Venezuela's rightful president ever since. But he governs nothing. From Madrid, then Argentina, then Trump's inauguration, Machado stayed, inside the country, under constant threat. The only opposition leader who refused to leave. At the Oslo press conference, a Swedish reporter asked, "Yesterday the US seized a ship outside Venezuela. Would you support an American intervention in Venezuela?" Her answer reframed everything.
Look, some people talk about invasion in Venezuela, the threat of an invasion in Venezuela, and I answered, Venezuela has been already invaded.
Russian agents, Iranian agents, Hezbollah, Hamas, Colombian guerrillas, drug cartels. She says control 60% of Venezuelan territory, running not just narcotics, but human trafficking. Prostitution networks. The regime uses those resources, from drug trafficking, from the black market of oil, not for hungry children, not for teachers who earn $1 a day, not for hospitals without medicine. They use it to repress and persecute our people.
And once it happens, and repression is weakened, it's over, because that's the only thing the regime has left, violence and terror. So we ask the international community to cut those sources, because the other regimes that support Maduro and the criminal structure are very active and had turned Venezuela into the safe haven for their operations into the rest of Latin America. Thank you.
When asked if she would return to Venezuela, she didn't hesitate. I came to receive this prize on behalf of the Venezuelan people, and I will take it back to Venezuela. There's a US carrier strike group blockading her country, a president who says she belongs in prison for 30 years, a regime that controls every institution, courts, military, media, oil. The man the free world recognizes as president is in Madrid. The woman who made him president just broke her spine getting out. And now she's going back. And she's bringing 80% of the receipts with her. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more content like this. And join us next time to explore what lies beyond